What makes Jane look and feel older than she is? Join the mission to make the former stewardess look and feel 10 years younger. Then we've sweet therapy with chocolate and edible art in Taste New Zealand. Tonight on One.
I have 10 fingers, 10 toes, 2 eyes, 1,000 of hair. But do you know what the world only has one of? Me.
A great moment for rugby in New Zealand.
18 years after this, the World Cup is coming on home. Tonight, the moment the cup was won, Jock Hobbs and his team bring rugby's biggest deal to New Zealand. What will the cup mean for those in the shadow of Eden Park and the...
It's to go, the countdown's already begun. Auckland's mayor promising this little village will be prepared for its World Cup debut. Melissa Stokes, One News.
Of course, it might have become big business, but for most of you, and certainly for me, 2011 is all about a very special game. The World Cup likely to end up with money trickling down into the grassroots of the game. And for the fans, there'll be 48 games shared around 11 venues and a chance to see rugby at its very best.
Groundsmen would be turning in their graves. In Kura, dogs have free rein on the field. Wanganui County's ground is home to sheep. But don't get them wrong, in small towns every man and his dog knows their rugby and there's enthusiasm to match any city.
Bella's pleased too. We all are, aren't we? Yay, the cup.
Isn't that fantastic? Woohoo! Brings everyone together a bit, I suppose.
Small valleys like the Hakataramia have produced top players, including All Black captains.
He's a homegrown boy from off the turnips up the hill.
Richie McCaw broke from his first scrum on this ground. Now his old club is keen to see that the grassroots don't miss out.
Hopefully they'll be able to put a few games out into some of those smaller unions, and it might lift the spectacle of the game there with international players coming into the area and young people being able to getting the opportunity to see them.
6 years is a lifetime to wait for these young fans. And while they practice the cheer and the passing, some older heads are wondering if we haven't bitten off more than we can chew.
We're not a big enough nation really to handle such a big event now.
All the same, they're hoping even the smaller rugby communities will see some of the benefits.
When the Poms were over here recently, the vans and everything that went through here, no, it was great. It's helping everybody.
They get a lot of tourists come through, do a bit of fishing.
Whether the international game reaches here or not, sport, as they say, will always be the winner. Sarah Azam, One News.
Yes, it will be, and 6 years will fly by very quickly. Cannot wait, Jude.
Well, indeed. Thanks, Wayne. Well, a successful bid is winning praise from around the world, and a short time ago, David Kirk, the man who lifted the World Cup for the very first time as All Black captain back in 1987, spoke in Sydney.
Oh, I'm ecstatic. I think it's fantastic for New Zealand. You know, New Zealand is a small country. We're a long way away from home, and for us to win on the world stage like this and to be provided with a stage to show off what's great about New Zealand and to stage a great World Cup in 2011 is just fantastic.
David Kirk there in Sydney. Well, after the break, the rest of the day's news, including the verdict on the Northland couple who put their faith in prayer. In the thick of it, angry protests in South Korea, where Helen Clark's joining other Asia-Pacific leaders. And every pilot's nightmare, landing without wheels and hoping to survive.
Later in sport, we've got more on today's big story. We'll look at how winning the hosting rights camps New Zealand's rehabilitation in World Rugby and the man who made it possible.
He's taught New Zealand today is that anything's possible if you really want it hard enough and you put the effort in.
And we see Turkish style what it means to miss out on soccer's World Cup finals.